Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Ruthless TV. Listen, at the very end of episode 16, we saw Donald, we saw Lily, and we saw Kyle. Lily was brought to the party by one of the Secret Service agents who found her snooping outside of the cabin looking for Bobby. So he decided to bring her on down because he recognized that she was the wife of the Chief of Staff, Donald. So Donald knows that she's there looking for Bobby, right? And then Bobby leans over ever so carefully and says, "What are you doing here? He's dead." So of course Donald thinks that Bobby is dead and that he died in the explosion. But little does he know, Lily's already talked to Donald, so she knows that he's very much alive. We have another scene with Hunter, the president, in the backseat of the motorcade with Ellie, and then he poses the question. He says, "I wonder what it would be like to have sex in the backseat of the motorcade." Then Ellie has to remind him. She says, "How many times I gotta tell you, I'm not your WHORE." So yet again, we still don't know what Ellie's plans are. You know, she's always telling Alan that she has this plan and, you know, she's going to be somebody and all this stuff. But, you know, when she's with Hunter, she doesn't seem to have a plan. She just kind of, just willy-nilly, I'm here and whatever. So I don't know what her angle is, but I'm sure that we'll find out pretty soon. Then another short clip here. We see Priscilla telling Nancy that Sam is having an affair and that she doesn't want to hurt the person that he's having an affair with. She just wants to punish her a little bit. And remember, I went over this in another video that I published. I think it was a couple of weeks. Well, maybe last week, maybe a couple. I'm not sure. It's all a blur now. But yeah, I did mention that she didn't want to kill her with the tea. She just wanted to poison her a little bit, just enough to make her sick. And if you missed that video, I'll leave a link to it right up above. Then Nancy asks her, do you know who it is? And she said, yes, she knows who it is. And of course, we all know that it's the First Lady, Victoria. Speaking of Victoria, she's in the room with Jason. And then Jason is telling her, look who's by my father's side. And of course, it's Ellie on the television. I don't know why they're on TV, but I guess the press did caught them or saw them leaving from the hospital at Andrews, or I don't know, because they were trying to sneak and go to the drone site. But I guess the press saw them and caught up with them. Then in the last short clip, we see the raccoon and Richard. And, of course, the raccoon is telling him that he needs to leave. And then Richard said, I'm coming back and I'm coming back with police enforcement. So that little line right there lets us know that, of course, he didn't get in. He didn't get anywhere. And he's going to come back with police enforcement, and which is probably what he should have done initially. But, if they're trying to do things on their own here. And I'm surprised Barry ain't at the gate yelling, "Dad, Dad," because he's got the biggest mouth, right? So that gives us a little insight on what we can expect from episode 17. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Ruthless TV once again, and I will see you on the next one.